And we know that 3 police officers in Baton Rouge, Louisiana have been killed, 3 others wounded. 1 is still in critical condition. We do not know the motivation of the shooter right now, but as many have pointed out, including the president, that regardless of the motive, that there is a danger to police officers in this country right now. They confront that danger every day, and President Obama reiterating that nothing justifies violence against law enforcement. There have been so many twists and turns in the day today. We initially had thought that there were 2 additional suspects. At this point, we believe, according to the Louisiana law enforcement agencies there, that the dead suspect is the only suspect. His name, Gavin Eugene Long, born today in 1987. It would have been his 29th birthday today. The Baton Rouge Police Department chief saying in a press conference earlier that this was a senseless act and that other agencies are now coming in to help his very stressed out and taxed officers. Let's go ahead and let you listen to what happened just before 9 o'clock this morning. It's hard to listen to. You hear a few pops that sound like gunfire and then just a barrage of bullets. David Begnaud is on scene right in this location right now. David, what can you tell us about what's happening there?
So the crime scene's about a half mile behind me. This is off Airline Highway. The police department is another mile. So this area we're very familiar with because protesters had been walking up and down Airline Highway within the last 12 days ever since the death of Alton Sterling. Remember, the real tension here in the city of Baton Rouge over the last week and a half has come since the death of Alton Sterling at the hands of 2 Baton Rouge police officers. But the crime scene where those officers were shot is just beyond me. You may be able to make out some of the blue lights. Here's what we're hearing from a witness who apparently has spoken to one of our investigative producers. He told her that when he arrived at the scene, happened there accidentally, he drove up to the scene, he heard what he estimates to be 20 to 30 gunshots, and then at one point he says an officer ran up to him and said, "I'm trying to get you out of the line of fire." He describes the actions of the officers as being extremely professional. That's something to say when you consider the situation they were in. We know that 6 officers were shot, 3 have died, 2 are with the Baton Rouge Police Department, 1 was with the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office. We also know the Sheriff's SWAT team, which is a multi-agency statewide group, has been activated. That means we're going to start seeing resources from around the state of Louisiana pour here into the city of Baton Rouge. But I got to tell you, they've already been here, so they're not having to drive very far. Ever since Alton Sterling's death, when protests first broke out in the Baton Rouge area, the SWAT team, as a part of the sheriff's state investigation, was called in then just to help out the Baton Rouge Police Department, which at the time we were told was exhausted because of the ongoing protests that pretty much went around the clock, especially late into the night. We do know that one of the wounded officers who was shot today is said to be fighting for his life in a local hospital. John Bel Edwards, Louisiana's governor, called what happened to these officers today an unspeakable, heinous attack. I have been speaking with law enforcement sources right now. They are having a meeting with legislators and the governor of Louisiana. We can also confirm that 2 people have been detained. Now, you're probably wondering, detained for what? We have been pressing investigators on that question. What does that mean? Here's what we've been told. The 2 people detained were taken into custody in the community of Addis, which is outside the Baton Rouge city limits. We do not know why they were detained. We don't know what they're being questioned about. But we do know, as of right now, 2 people have been detained in some kind of connection to the shooting, where they spotted leaving the scene in a suspicious way. Do they actually have something to do with that? I want to caution you. After the 5 officers were shot and killed in Dallas, there were a couple of people that were detained then, and it turned out that they had nothing to do with the ambushing of those police officers. That could happen here, but we're obligated to give you the updated information, and that's the latest we have as of right now, Jamie. 2 people detained. We're trying to get more as to why.
David, thank you so much for that update. Great reporting out there. You've been working it all day long. We appreciate it.